Curses were a concept present in numerous cultures since antiquity. Their presence can be found in multiple pieces of media, including Dungeons and Dragons. However, in there they seem very limited, as they essentially are present only in the form of spells granting creatures specific effects, like Bestow Curse or Gesh, or maybe magical items that are cursed in order to in some way provide a detrimental value to an item which otherwise would be probably considered too powerful. So, if you wish to utilize curses in your campaigns, then welcome to Dungeon Hussars, where today I'll show you a better way of handling D&D curses. Firstly, we have to establish what makes a curse, starting from establishing the core of a curse, while simultaneously covering what makes curses a desirable concept to be used in fiction. In my opinion, curses should be highly customizable and can serve numerous roles in stories or games. For instance, being a nice conflict generator, with those who became cursed being highly incentivized to seek an antidote to their current state, thereby being more likely to embark on dangerous quests or take other risks. A curse can also serve as a cautionary sign or be used strictly for issues with balance in the game design. In history, two main paths of imbuing someone with a curse were present. One originating from the antiquity of Greece and Egypt, where curses were wielded by individuals seeking to gain advantage against their foes by invoking supernatural forces. In such a setting, when one has wished to curse someone, a whole ritual was needed. The ritual began with carving some lead tablets with a curse formula, typically using the word bind as a mystical word to force the fate they have prepared for one person. This was preceded by making a focus, which makes the tablet's curse effective. The curses therefore were used as a form of a weapon, making the target of a curse an enemy of the sorcerer, in hopes that the curse would eventually lead to their doom. This system can be contrasted with how the Irish perceived curses, as in their traditions witchcraft and sorcery were viewed as an evil act, while curses were viewed as a righteous way of summoning a divine force to punish an individual for doing an evil deed. Although using a curse against someone who is not guilty of a crime the cursor accuses them of would not only be ineffective against them, but it would also be redirected back to the cursor, who can cure themselves only by stating that they in fact were wrong in regards to the subject of the curse. Now in D&D, the curses that we have do not come directly from any of those approaches, instead being some kind of a mixture of both of them. We do not have the requirement to perform a ritual in order to hex a creature, which was necessary in antiquity, but most options involving bestowing curses upon creatures take the form of a rather quickly casted spell. At the same time, using something like Gesh would work on any creature and not only those who righteously deserve to be affected by it. This, while conceptually interesting, is not utilized to its full potential, which, speaking of, in Dungeons and Dragons, a curse can be bestowed upon one in numerous different ways. However, the way they're handled as well as how you can later remove them can be in most cases sorted into one of these two types. A curse that is connected to a magical item. This is the most common form of a player character getting cursed in the game. These curses can range from minor inconveniences to really serious obstructions. However, in most cases, those hexes require either a great effort to be dispelled, or are just completely impossible to get rid of, which is problematic because most of these curses are impossible to detect, oftentimes specifying that a spell such as Identify would not discover that this particular item is cursed. By now you probably have realized that this is bad, because if a player doesn't know that they're acquiring a cursed item and later the curse would turn out to influence a major point of the story, it will not be fun and even seem kind of railroady, as it will seem that you've added this anathema to the item secretly in order to get your desired outcome of an encounter. The second group are curses directly bestowed upon creatures by either the PCs or NPCs, and they are generally more satisfying, as being cursed after ravaging a local priest's temple is something to be expected, and generally has the potential to create fun new quests in order to get rid of said hex. However, here it is important to note that those curses have a directly opposite problem to the magic item ones. They are, in general, insanely easy to remove, as most of them can be lifted by just the remove curse spell, which is only level 3. So, if your party has a cleric of level 5 or higher, those curses will not affect you for a long time. The last thing that I want to talk about before presenting the alternate system is that curses in almost all cases are reserved for NPCs, as they're one of the instances of magic that is not mechanically stated in the books, apart from telling the GM that, hey, you can use this for your NPCs. Which is annoying, as it limits the player's options while simultaneously allowing the GM to use the curses. Hence, we have to establish what is needed for the system in order for it to be simple and engaging. The first thing that is needed to improve how currently anathemas are handled in D&D is to make cursing someone not a quick action, but rather a ritual which requires preparation to accomplish its designed goals. A ritual which can be disrupted, therefore allowing the curse's target to react and avoid its effects. Which brings us to the next point of creating improved curses, which is creating multiple paths in which a hex can be removed, which is necessary, as knowing the possibility to cure oneself incentivizes action, and the knowledge that there may be multiple ways one can lift the curse that affects them creates a meaningful and just interesting choice for a character to make. However, while having multiple options to get rid of a hex is greatly beneficial, it also is really important to note that all of those paths should neither be too hard nor too simple, as making the removal a trivial thing will remove the need of cursing a target in the first place, while making the removal too hard will probably cause your players to spend too much time on one quest. In the system I've created, there are two main ways you can be cursed. One influenced by the Irish tradition where the curse's target has to commit an evil action to be affected by it. Moreover, the curse's effects are dependent on what is the nature of the act committed by the target. Like, if an individual brutally murdered someone, most likely they will be affected with a curse which makes them more susceptible to injuries and diseases. The second one allows the sorcerer to influence the shape of the curse and is used to ward off places or object with lead tablets serving as a focus rooting the anathema into the world. Both of these methods require a ritual to take effect. The core of the ritual stays the same, with the creature who wishes to curse someone needing to carve out the curse in a lead tablet. The tablet itself should include who the target of the curse is going to be, for what kind of action, as well as a destructible thing to which the curse is binded. The tablet is later either imbued into an item or a place, in which case it is also required that the cursor expend a spell slot of at least 3rd level, although this will depend on the severity of the hex they wish to impose. And in order for this method to be effective, a copy of the imbued tablet has to be created and hidden somewhere. While the target of a curse is a creature, the only thing additionally needed is an object connected to the target. This could range from a nail to a quill they used to write. The object has to later be buried together with the tablet in order for the curse to take effect. If one wants to get rid of an anathema, it can be omitted in one of these ways. 1. Getting the cursor to uncurse the target, which is probably the most common. 2. Finding and destroying the lead tablets. And option 3. Destroying or finding a way to bypass the bound to a specific object or a creature. And that is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. In the link in the description you can find the documents presenting the entirety of this system. I really hope that you'll enjoy it. We're open to chat and improve it, so we invite you to our Discord server. If you've enjoyed this video, then leave a like, comment and subscribe to the channel. And for now, goodbye!